Guys, I don't even know what day it is. I think it's day 12. Yeah? Yeah. Alright, so today it is day 12 of 15 days of foundation. This is where I try out a new foundation every single day for 15 days, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I did a thing yesterday. Anything look different? So the lip ring is a goner after 5 years. I loved it. We had a good run, but I was just ready to switch it up. So I got my nose pierced instead. I actually had my nose pierced before I ever had my lip ring. I also got this piercing in here. But anyways, felt like I should probably address that since you stare at my face every day. So as you can see from the title, today's foundation is the new Dermablend Flawless Creator Mix-In Pigment Drops, multi-use liquid pigments. Technically what it's called. Oh shit, you get a shit ton of product in here. This is impressive. So these pigment drops retail for $40, but you get 1 fluid ounce of product in here, which is amazing. And the Cover FX drops, you get half that amount, you get half a fluid ounce. And the Cover FX custom cover drops retail for $44. So for half the amount. So this is actually a really great deal. So I've tested out a few different pigment drops. We did the hard candy ones in a different series, but the idea with these is that they're basically drops that have higher concentrated pigment. So usually you can mix them in to add coverage, to lighten, to darken foundation, or you can use them on their own. So you can either mix it in with a primer, moisturizer, whatever you want. So I typically like to use drops by mixing them in with another foundation just to give it that extra oomph. You know what I'm saying? You can get these on Ulta. Reading some of the claims, it says it's a blendable, buildable, customizable, weightless foundation drops with 33% liquid makeup pigment. This lightweight foundation provides buildable and blendable coverage with a water-free, oil-free foundation formula. Use alone or mix. You can use 1 drop minimum for lighter coverage, 4 drops for maximum coverage. I think you could mix in however much you want to mix in. They're supposed to last 16 hours. So these come in 20 shades. I have the lightest shade, which is 0N. I'm going to start swatches right here of the shade 0N compared to the custom cover. Whoa, all words just like went out of my brain. Compared to the Cover FX drops in the shade N10. Okay, so swatch time right here is the Dermablend Flawless Creator drops in N0, the lightest shade. Next over is the Cover FX drops in N10. So the Dermablend drops are actually quite a bit lighter and a bit more neutral, which can be great for mixing or lightening or just wearing alone if this is your shade. Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation in the lightest shade Fair. Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation in 0.5. Dermacol 208 and Pure Cosmetics Baradol in Porcelain. The packaging on this is really nice. It's a glass bottle, but it feels really kind of like lightweight almost. And it has a nice dropper to it as well. It doesn't look like it's going to get quite as messy as the Cover FX one. The Cover FX dropper is pretty horrible. I don't even think this really qualifies as a dropper. It just like gets everywhere. So that's all the claims. If you want to see what I think of the Dermablend Flawless Creator drops and how they apply and wear throughout the day, you're in the right place. Just keep watching. All right, so when I'm filming this, I just posted day 4, I think it was, and a lot of you guys were very concerned with the primer. I pinned a comment in that video and it's already like, what, 7 days later? But since this is the first time I can talk to you guys on camera about it, I am going to switch up the primer in this video, even though, like I said in the pinned comment, it's not the primer that's affecting the foundation, like the Bare Minerals one in the first few days, because I have already tried those foundations with this primer, looked the same. So just for you guys, we will switch up the primer. I'm going to use the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer because lately this has been my other go-to primer if I'm not using the Hylamide Matte 12. This one I just like to put on my T-zone mostly. I do put it all over my forehead, but on my face down here I just put it kind of around my pores, chin, and nose a little bit. It's been so long having a nose piercing, I don't even remember what it's like to put on foundation with it, so this will be fun. The piercing guy said that putting makeup on should be fine, just keep like a tiny little ring around it. I actually really like the packaging of this. Kind of reminds me of the DCM Ordinary. So like usual, I'm going to try my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush on one side and then my Morphe sponge on the other. So the way that I tested the hard candy mix-in pigment drops was by mixing it in with the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream because this is too dark and it is very mattifying, long-lasting. It's one of those foundations that I just know exactly how it performs. It looks beautifully on my skin. So I feel like I have a good idea of mixing stuff in with this, how to fix it. Like most pigment drops, you can mix these in with moisturizer, primer, but the Cover FX drops, they're pretty dewy, so I like mixing these in if I have a super mattifying foundation that I just want to make a little bit more dewy and add some coverage. I'm going to start out with about that much of the foundation. I'm going to shake these really well because they sound super liquidy. I'm going to start with 4 drops and see kind of how it alters the shade and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, 5. Ooh, it seems to be lightening it really well. So I'll start on this side with brush. So the CoverGirl foundation does oxidize a bit on me, so I like to mix light, which is why it looks a little bit light right now. But my face will oxidize, and once I have bronzer and everything on, it'll match fine. So I can tell that these drops are matte. These are not like glowy, dewy drops like the Cover FX ones, which is nice to have a different kind of finish. These could be drops that I can mix in if I have a really dewy foundation that I kind of want to mattify a little bit. Okay, so let's try the sponge on the other side. And the CoverGirl foundation, I forgot to say, is medium coverage on its own. Okay, my forehead looks 50 billion times better with the sponge. Now my forehead's looking good. Overall, I think I like the sponge side better, and I got the same kind of coverage. I do think it added coverage to the foundation since it's normally medium, but I do still have some acne stuff coming through. Doesn't seem like quite as much coverage off the bat as the Cover FX drops do. Usually when I mix in the Cover FX drops, it makes any foundation like full coverage. So I'm just gonna go over with a sponge down here and build it up a little bit just to see if we can get more coverage. It does seem to be building. We're at full coverage now. I think it looks really nice. My face is super matte right now, but it doesn't look heavy matte. It just looks really nice. So right now it's 9:02. We're gonna call the check-in time 9 o'clock. I'm not gonna powder my face with this because I never powder my face with the CoverGirl Clean Matte. It lasts amazing throughout the day. If you have oily skin, this stuff is amazing for mixing in, for using alone. If you like just lighter coverage, it seriously lasts forever. Without a powder, it's amazing. I wanna just drop this on my hand really quick to see if it still looks really matte on its own. Yeah, so it is definitely matte. These are matte drops. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. Hopefully the lawnmower will be done by the time I come back, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so it's now 10:17. I got kind of sidetracked doing things for Instagram. I finished up my makeup probably like a half hour ago. So it's been on for a little over an hour at this point. I did not end up setting my face with the powder like I said. It looks really good. I was just like out snapping in natural lighting and looking in the bathroom mirror and everything, and it just looks very smooth and it feels super lightweight, which the CoverGirl foundation does, but I don't feel like the drops added any like weight or heaviness or cakiness to it. I feel like they mixed really well and just lightened it and added a little bit of coverage. So right now I'm feeling them. I feel like the only thing at this point that can happen is if it, for whatever reason, if these possibly break down the foundation by the end of the night or something, because this does hold up really well, so we'll see. But right now I'm feeling them. I would definitely use these again, especially with like a super glowy foundation if I want to like tone it down and mattify it a little bit or something. But on the rest of my face, what did I use? Bronzer, I used the e.l.f. bronzing palette. I just went in with this shade right here in the corner. I guess they're all in the corner. Blush, I used the BH Cosmetics Floral Blush in... That's what the inside looks like. These are really nice. They're super pigmented. This is in the shade Bahama Bronze. Highlight, I used the Smashbox Casey Holmes palette. I really love this highlight. It's like growing on me every time I use it. Eyes, I'm also using Collab. This is the Pixie It's Judy Time palette. This is a beautiful freaking palette. Like, I feel like this is very underrated, the matte shades in here. I like the shimmers too, but I feel like the mattes are what's special. All of my eyeshadows are this palette. Oh, I put a little cream liner on my waterline, which I haven't done in forever. I used to do this every single day, but this is the ColourPop Honey Dude. Is that what that is? I think that says Honey Dude. This just helps to like open up your eyes. In college, I remember, I think it was junior year. Yeah, I used to do that every single day. I remember my makeup phases in college by which apartment or house I was in at that time. Lips, I used the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Liner in Nonstop Nude, and then Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit and Nudie Patootie, one of my favorite liquid lipsticks ever. So that's everything. I'm just gonna be working. I think I might try and go get my nails done because these are looking pretty ratchet, and I leave for London. I'm going to London. Just realized I haven't told you guys that. I'm going to London on the 15th. Super excited, but it's very soon, so I need to get my shit together. So again, the check-in time is 9 o'clock. The next check-in I do will be in natural lighting. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Okay, it's 2 o'clock, so it's been on for 5 hours right now. Got the nails done. Not sure how I feel about this color, but I like the shape. I did like more oval this time. I just get acrylic with shellac on top. I'm not sure what color shellac this was. I forgot to look. But anyways, foundation. So it looks really great everywhere, except I'm getting creasing on my upper lip, and then it's rubbed away up here where I've been like pushing back my bangs. I'll zoom you guys in. So here's the upper lip creasing. My cheeks and everything look really nice, and my forehead I think looks good except for right up here. I'm microwaving ramen. See, it just rubbed away right there. I don't usually get lip creasing when I wear the CoverGirl matte. I also don't really remember it like rubbing away, so I would attribute that to the drops, I think. Other than that, I think it still looks good. My oil is holding up really well underneath here still, and it looks smooth and I like it. Oh, by the way, I changed shirts, and I'll probably change again because I'm getting dinner with my friend tonight. I think I'm actually gonna have this on for a really long time tonight because I'll check in with you guys after dinner. Okay, it's now 8:40, so it's been on for almost 12 hours, which is a long wear time. Normally I do 10 hours. Not gonna lie, a little bit tipsy right now. Just got back from Rachel's Ginger Beer, which if you're going to Seattle, you should go to Rachel's Ginger Beer. Side note, I get so many questions about what to do if you're coming to Seattle if you're visiting. So I think I'm gonna eventually do a video on that, or like a blog post or something. Let me know if you guys want to see that. So again, this light like bounces off. That's what you guys are seeing right there. But my oil looks really good right now. In real life, like when I look in the mirror, maybe you can see without that like reflecting off, but I have like very, very minimal oil right now, which is typical for the CoverGirl, so I don't feel like the Dermablend drops really made me any more oily necessarily. This is like amazing for me. Was the mirror just in front of my face the whole time? I think it was. As far as oil, this is pretty amazing for me at 12 hours. My face isn't separating at all on my forehead. It is a little bit around my nose. And by the way, before I left, I just went over my upper lip with a sponge just so I didn't have major creasing since I was going out. So here's what my skin looks like after 12 hours. For me, this is great. So yeah, I don't feel like the Dermablend necessarily broke down my face anymore or made me more oily than normal, which is great. I want to compare these kind of side by side with the Cover FX just to see which has more coverage, because I do feel like it added coverage, but for the amount that I used, I feel like I get a little bit better coverage with the Cover FX drops. It definitely added coverage, it just wasn't quite as like maximum coverage, I feel like. But I would definitely use those again. If you want mix-in pigment drops but you like a matte finish, these could be really great for you. I feel like they're one of the few matte finish mixing drops I've ever seen. Most of the other ones I've tried are definitely more on the dewy side. I feel like the shade N0 is a perfect lightening shade for me. It's 90 degrees. Why am I wearing jeans? Ooh, I got jeans tonight at Free People. I think I'm gonna do a fall haul video after 15 days of foundation because I've been doing a shit ton of shopping. But anyways, I'm feeling these. I'm excited to keep using them and see which foundations I like it best with. But I would totally wear this combo again. I think it looked really nice throughout the day. No major complaints. Yay, we got a good one. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you're liking this series, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. It helps me out and I appreciate it. A few more days left of 15 days of foundation. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.